kick it, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears.
The yo bitch wanna kick it, Jackie Chan.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another quote-unquote rebuilding video. We've taken a look at some teams around the league, the Broncos, the Panthers, the Giants, and we've rebuilt those teams. The latter two we have won championships with. But today, it's going to be a rebuild, but it's going to be a little bit more of a challenging rebuild. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, seeing if I can truly become a drafting god, which I have proclaimed that I am, and it's been proven, it's been backed up. There's been some things you could say could go against me, but I'm a drafting god. And that's going to be put to the test today, because today's challenge, you already know what it is from the video title and thumbnail. Today's challenge is I'm going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears, Bears, in Madden 24, but the caveat is I cannot trade at all. How is this going to work? Well, I'm glad that you asked. So, we are going to be trying to rebuild the Chicago Bears to become a dynasty again, to become a champion again, just like they were with the '85 Bears and when they've been good. Not so much in the recent history, but I mean, they have made a championship game, a Super Bowl, within the last like 20 years, so hey, take that for what it is. But we're going to be trying to get these Bears back on top of the mountain, but I cannot trade at all. So that means I cannot trade for other players. I cannot trade draft picks. I cannot trade up in the draft. If there's a good player in the draft that I want to get, either I have to have good luck and have a draft pick that is in the spot where I could get him, or we just can't get him. So that's going to be challenging. The way that we're going to be rebuilding this team is through progression, upgrades, through free agency. I have some changes to free agency that I'll talk about in a second, and through the draft picks that we just naturally have, since we're not going to be able to acquire any more. I chose the Bears because they're one of the only teams that have multiple first-round picks in year number one. I could have went with the Cardinals. I think I could have went with one other team that has multiple first-round picks, but the Bears also are a team that have 2 first-round picks this year, obviously from when they traded down to give Carolina the first overall pick last year to take Bryce Young. They got Carolina's first-round pick. So we have 2 first-round picks this year. Those are going to be absolutely massive. I tried to be strategic as possible in choosing what team I picked to rebuild because I needed to have a lot of assets. So as far as free agency is, usually when you get to free agency and free agency day 1 or period 1, whatever it's called, you have 5 negotiations you're allowed to do on that day. I have changed all of that to unlimited, since that is the only way we're going to be able to rebuild this team other than the draft. I've changed all 3 days. Usually it goes 5, then you get 10, then you get unlimited in day 3. I've changed all 3 of those to unlimited, so we can talk to as many free agents as possible every single period and sign as many players as possible. Now, I don't know if I'll use that capability, but it's there, because that's going to be the main way that we rebuild a team. And it's going to be the fastest way that we rebuild a team, because the draft picks, yes, year 1's going to be good because we're probably going to be bad and the Panthers are probably going to be bad. So we're going to have probably 2 top 10 picks, I would guess, as long as everything goes our way. I did change the Bear playbooks right off the bat to try to get the most progression out of Justin Fields. So we're running Kansas City's playbook and Dallas's playbook on defense. So I'm hoping that our pick is decently good so that Justin Fields gets good morale, gets upgraded and all that kind of stuff, because Justin Fields is probably going to be our guy. But then I'm hoping the Panthers are bad, so we at least have 1 top 10 pick or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. But that is the main way that we're going to be rebuilding this team, is acquiring players, because you know how I like to do in my rebuilds. I like to trade away players that are in need of new contracts that I'm just not going to be able to re-sign because I don't have the money or I just don't want them, and I can get draft picks back in return, like 2nd round picks, 3rd round picks, 4th round picks, depending on who it is. I'm not going to be able to do that system, that method in this video. I'm only going to be able to let them walk. Let's say we have, I don't know, DJ Moore. his contract's coming up, and for some reason we don't have the cap room to be able to bring him in. If we don't want to franchise tag him and go over the salary cap or restructure a bunch of contracts and do it that way, we're just going to have to let DJ Moore walk instead of possibly trading him for other assets in return. So it's going to be a big culture shock for me, because it's going to be taking away a big piece of my rebuilding talent or my rebuilding mentality, because I like to use that trade center to get draft picks, to trade back, to get multiple first-round picks, to get other players, to get out of contracts and all that kind of stuff. Like, we're not going to be able to do that in today's video. The trade screen is completely forbidden. We cannot even enter it to see anything. Except, I guess I could enter it to see, like, our salary cap and stuff, but there's other ways to see that, so we don't need to. So we probably don't even need to click on trade center at all, because we're not going to have anything to do with it. We can't trade draft picks, we can't trade players, we can't trade anything. Nothing. No trading in this video whatsoever. So if I haven't explained it well enough right off the bat, you guys will understand it as we go forward and you see a season or two. And then it's not hard to understand, but in case I didn't explain it, I'm known to not explain things very well, so in case you didn't understand it fully, even if it is pretty simple, you guys will be able to understand it within the first few clips that you see. So the Chicago Bears are the team that we are rebuilding. We got to hope that Justin Fields develops, because if not, we're going to be in a big, big hole, because not usually is there any good free agent quarterbacks in Madden 24. Maybe you get a Trevor Lawrence. Maybe you get a Justin Herbert. Maybe you get a Lamar Jackson, but that's very rare, especially now that some of those guys have massive contract extensions. They're not usually there. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully Justin Fields can develop and we don't need a quarterback and we can just focus on other stuff. But that is our video for today. It's going to be a challenging one. I've never done a rebuild where I never traded before, so it's going to be very interesting to see. I hope you guys go on to enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club if you have any other ideas for possible challenging rebuilding videos you want to see me try to take on, whether I can't draft or I can't sign free agents or like restrictions put on the rebuild. Let me know down below in the comments and we will try to attempt them in the future. But as for now, let's go and see if we can rebuild the Bears back to a champion. Here we are, start of the season 2023. Let's get familiar with the roster, because like I said, we cannot enter this screen whatsoever. The trade center, just imagine it's not even there anymore. The trade center is not even there. We cannot trade at all. Now, I could have gone and disabled the trade, but then I don't think you can only disable it for the user. You'd have to disable it for the entire league, and I don't want the other team. I want the other teams to be able to be normal and trade players and stuff if they want to, so, and trade draft picks. So I don't think they do that, but maybe. So I didn't want to disable it for everybody. But this is the team we're working with. We really need to hope that Darnell Wright develops, because I'm hoping he can be our franchise right tackle. But this man right here, from the Ohio State University, Justin Fields. 89 throw power. His accuracies are in the low to mid 80s. His speed is 93. His acceleration is 95. He's a fast boy, and I'm hoping that this Kansas City offense can really turn him around and make sure that DJ Moore gets a lot of use, make sure that Cole Kmet becomes a superstar. We've got some decent running backs in Khalil Herbert, but we probably need to look for another running back in the future, maybe in free agency or whatever. Backup quarterback is Tyson Bagent from Shepherd University. Not gonna be the guy. I hope not, at least. We have Darnell Mooney, money with 2 O's. We have not a whole lot else at receiver. The offensive line is very bad, other than Darnell Wright's potential. And then on the defense, there's a lot of work to be done. We have TJ Edwards, who we've seen in the past become a decent overall in rebuilds. Tremaine Edmonds is always good, and he is still super young at 25 years old, so we still got a lot of development with him that we can hopefully look forward to. Eddie Jackson's not got a lot left. He's pretty old at this point. Jaquan Brisker, we can hope turns into something because he's still super young. We've got the rookie Tyreek Stevenson from the U, who I'm hoping can turn into a #1 corner, or at the worst, a #2 or 3. I'm hoping he can become something. But other than that stuff, we've got no redeeming qualities on the defensive line. We've got Jack Sanborn. Maybe he can turn into something. We've got Noah Sewell, who maybe can turn into something, but there's not a whole lot of promise on this team on the defense side of things, or even really on the offensive side of things. Obviously, we do have the star receiver, DJ Moore, who they got in that Panther trade last year during the draft, or before the draft. So he's 26. He's got a bright future ahead of him, especially in this Kansas City offense, if we can get it rocking. Now that we're familiar with the Bears roster, this would usually be a point where I would think about maybe trading away some players to get worse. Can't do that this time. We can, though, choose our draft class and hope that there are some good players in this class. It looks like there's going to be a quarterback at the top. There always is. Junior Justice, what a name. From North Dakota State as well. Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, 6'5". He's a big body. Junior Justice is a Hall of Fame name, by the way. We've got a guy that we could be interested in, Kendrick Hales, out of Auburn. Gordon Dixon, Devin Odom, Lamar's cousin. Forrest Hairston, Bryce McDougal, Philip Samuel, tackle, 5'10" corner from TCU. Okay, so there's a couple quarterbacks in this class. There's a couple defensive players that I'm interested in. What is our scout looking for? Receiver and corner. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Our three-star corner is looking, or our three-star scout is looking for receivers and corners. I don't hate that at all. But I don't think there's, now that we can't trade, I don't think there's really any other reason to stick around to the, like, on the screen. We might as well just cut to the next thing, which I don't think I'm going to show you guys the mid-season mark. I think I'm just going to go straight to the playoffs. I doubt we're going to be in it, but I don't know. Maybe KC and Dallas playbook combination is going to be lethal for us. I doubt it. It's probably going to get us more wins than I would like, but that's good because we're looking for that development of Justin Fields and some of these young players. So getting more wins right off the bat is going to be actually pretty useful, even though it won't help us in the draft place. But we can hope the Panthers are bad. That's our kind of only thing. So I can quickly show you guys the draft picks that we do have. So our draft picks are our first pick, our pick, which is currently projected number 1 overall, but it's not going to be that. And then number 9 from the Panthers. Then we have a 2, a 3, 2 4s, a 5, and a 6 this year. And then we have just the normal picks. Actually, we have a second-round pick from the Panthers next year too, but then the rest of the picks are just normal. So that's why I picked the Bears. I wanted to be strategic. I wanted to think about a team that has a lot of assets. I could have went with the Cardinals, but I didn't really want to rebuild with Kyler Murray. So we're going to rock with Justin Fields. But I'm going to simulate to the postseason. I don't know if we're going to be involved in it. We're going to see how it goes. I will stop simulating to like do the scouting stuff so we can get ready for it, so don't worry about that. But I think I'll catch back up with you guys when we are at the end of the regular season for Season 1. Maybe we'll be in the playoffs? I don't know. I'll have to find out. We finished Season 1, and it didn't go as bad as I thought it would. I guess Kansas City and Dallas's playbooks are just that good that even with a bad team like ours, they didn't lose every game. We finished 5-12 on the year. We did get to see some good development from the guys. I think Cole Kmet is now at 85 overall or something. Yeah, Cole Kmet's at 85. Darnell Wright is down in morale, but he's a 77. Justin Fields is playing up to a 79. So, I mean, we saw some good morale boosts and some good development from the guys that we wanted to see that from. The defense is not really looking good. Tyreek Stevenson is a 77. That's fine. Jaquan Brisker is an 80, playing down to a 79. So we saw some good development from the guys we wanted to see. That's always nice. But we just did not win any games, really. 5 wins. Justin Fields finished with 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 18 picks. That's a lot of picks for Justin Fields, but hey, he's still young. He's still developing. Khalil Herbert had 600 yards on the ground. Justin Fields had 430 and 4 touchdowns. DJ Moore and Cole Kmet in that Kansas City offense did really, really well. I'm expecting Cole Kmet to go up to superstar development with these numbers. 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. DJ Moore, maybe even an X factor, especially with those 15 touchdowns. You never know. That could be something that would really help us out. And then Tremaine Edmonds, maybe superstar development for him with 127 tackles, 3 sacks. TJ Edwards had 116. Jaquan Brisker had a lot of tackles too from that strong safety spot. The rookie had 3 picks. Tyreek Stevenson, love to see that. On the defensive line, we had Justin Jones with 14 tackles for loss. Ngakoue had 13. Sack leader was Ngakoue with 9.5. Rasheem Green had 4. 3 for Tremaine Edmonds, 3 for a couple other guys. Interception leader was Jalen Johnson with 4, and then Stevenson with 3, TJ Edwards with 2, a couple guys with 1. So that is Season 1 in the books. We will see who wins the Super Bowl. I doubt it'll be anybody of a shock. It's probably going to be one of a few teams, maybe the Chiefs, the Niners, the Cowboys, Ravens, sometimes the Dolphins. Who else makes it? Falcons. Did I say Falcons already? Falcons make it a lot. I don't know. It's probably going to be one of those teams. Vikings tend to make it in simulation. It is Niners and Chiefs. The Niners and Chiefs are in the Super Bowl here in year number 1. And I'm guessing Chiefs are going to win. Would not be shocked if they did. Wouldn't be shocked either way, really. It is the Chiefs, 28-25 over the Niners, so they get another win over the 49ers. Another championship for Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, all those good people win championships. And we have a lot of cap room, which is good. Joe Burrow's MVP of the league. Rashee Rice and Jalen Carter are Rookies of the Year. TJ Watt, Christian McCaffrey, Offense, Defense Players of the Year. Mahomes is your Super Bowl MVP. No awards for the Bears. No surprise there. We finished with 5 wins. How did Carolina do? That's going to be a big thing as well. Carolina finished. The Browns are the #1 pick. We are right there at the top, or bottom, I guess. But Carolina, oh God, Carolina made the playoffs at 10-7. Bryce Young rookie season playoffs? That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted at all. So now we're going to have 2 picks that aren't great because our own pick is probably going to be top 10, but not near enough, not near as good as I would have liked. The Browns only with 2 wins. That never happens with this Browns defense that they have. They never get that little wins. But we got negotiations. Jalen Johnson goes up to superstar. We're going to accept the option on Justin Fields because he's our guy. Any other improvements? Dante Foreman, however you want to say his name, he's up to superstar, so we might bring him back just because of that. But everybody else, there's no development here, and there's nobody that I want. So we're going to bring back Jalen Johnson because he's a superstar. He's only 25. So we are going to bring him back. Bada bing, bada boom. And he's coming back perfect. So Jalen Johnson's back. Darnell Mooney probably needs to come back as well because we do need all the wide receiver help that we have, that we can get. So he's coming back. Darnell Mooney, welcome back. Dante Foreman, like I said, just because he's got superstar development, probably should come back. He should accept this, right? Yeah, okay. 2-year deal for him. And Ngakoue can kind of just walk, I guess. And everybody else can pretty much walk. So we're going to go into free agency with about $79 million in budget to bring in people to help this team. That's very, very good. I like that a lot. I hope it's a good class, though. I hope it is a good class, because this is the only way we can rebuild. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Calvin Ridley. Okay. Mike Williams also. Grant Delpit. We can move. No, Grant Delpit probably can't play free safety. And Jaquan Brisker probably can't play free safety either. So that's kind of annoying, but I like this free agency class. There are some interesting players in here that we can definitely go after. Mainly Calvin Ridley. Him and DJ Moore, along with Mooney, that could be really, really good. And nobody's in on him either. He's got no teams interested, so we can go in for him. Maybe even Josh Allen, because he's only 27. I know I bring in Josh Allen a lot, but I would not be opposed to this contract for Josh Allen. And we are not the team at the top. So we are going to have to probably overpay for Josh Allen. I didn't think that we were going to have to do that, but he's got 7 teams in on him, and we want to be the 8th, and it's going to cost us a lot of money. Is that more than the Commanders? That is not more than the Commanders. I don't think we're going to be able to get him. I don't want to pay him that much money. We're just going to let him go to the Commanders, and we're going to put all that money in on Calvin Ridley. So we are going to spend our money on Ridley. He can go and use this to bet on games. And we are the only team in on him. Perfect. Mike Williams at only 29 as well. I don't hate. Maybe a 3-year deal would be a little bit safer. And he kind of wants to be here. So having those 2 receivers would help Justin Fields a lot. And then who else do we want to bring in? Michael Pierce maybe? Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack has been good in the past for us in rebuilds. So I might be a little cheeky and go for a Khalil Mack contract. Especially because nobody's in on him. So remember, we have unlimited picks. I can go for whoever I want as long as I have the money for it. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a running back, do we? Do we need a Dalvin Cook? I've signed Dalvin Cook in the past. I would go for Derek Carr, but he's 30 years old. Nobody's in on Dalvin. I could be persuaded to talk to Dalvin Cook because we could use a running back. I know we're in the Kansas City offense where the running back doesn't really get a lot of use, but having that would be good. We don't necessarily need a tight end because we have Cole Kmet. The offensive line certainly needs some help. But is there anybody that I want? That's the big question. Probably not. Cesar Ruiz, no. I don't really want to put the money on him, especially trying to outbid other people. The offensive line's not really good this year. That's not a good sign. The defensive line, we probably do need to bring some guys in because we let Ngakwe and stuff walk. So maybe we need to bring in Chris Wormley, but he is 30 years old at this point. Michael Pierce is still on the table. He's got one other team in on him. There's Ngakwe. Wait, who was that with star development down there? James Houston, 4th. He's got 5 teams in him because he's still 25. Outside linebackers. Denzel Perryman. Travis Gibson, 27. That's probably a little bit too old to develop at this point. Levi Wallace is 29. Getting another corner would not be the worst thing in the world. So maybe I'll offer Levi Wallace a little contract. Just to try to bring him in, get an extra corner. Some more depth there. And we're not going to go in on Grant Delpit because, 1, he's got 8 teams in on him, and 2, he doesn't fit our scheme. We already have Jaquan Brisker. We already have Jaquan, so it's not going to really work out that well. So right now our targeted guys are Calvin Ridley, Mike Williams, Khalil Mack, Dalvin Cook, and Levi Wallace. Am I happy with leaving that, or do we want to offer anybody else? Because I think we can get all these guys, although Lions are in on Mike Williams. I guess it's not the worst thing if we don't get Mike Williams, but I do want to get Calvin Ridley. I wish the offensive line class is a little bit better. I just don't want to spend, I don't want to waste any money on them. The only other guy that I could go in on is probably Michael Pierce. I'll throw a little deal at Michael Pierce, see what he says to that. That puts us not above the Vikings. The Vikings must be offering him crazy amounts of money. I'll leave the deal there just in case for some reason he accepts and doesn't choose the Vikings, but I think that's what we're going to have for the first evaluation period. We're going to let it rock, and everybody signed but Calvin Ridley and Khalil Mack. We got Cook and Wallace. So we didn't get Michael Pierce. We didn't get Mike Williams. And was there one other guy that we didn't get? But we got Cook and Wallace. That's it. That's good. Calvin Ridley's the big one, and the Texans are in on him. I might have to bump that offer up a little bit for Calvin. Might have to bump the offer up slightly for Calvin. I forget what I was offering him originally, but we'll just go all in on him because we want him. Pairing him alongside DJ Moore would be really, really good. So that, hopefully, that puts us right there with the Texans. I don't know what the Texans are offering him. I'm going to hit the evaluation thing. He decided to sign. Was it with us? It is with us. We got Calvin Ridley. That's huge. That is really, really huge. And then Khalil Mack signs with us as well. So we bring him back to Chicago. I just realized that. We bring him back to Chicago. So we brought in some really good pieces. Yeah, some are slightly older, considering Khalil Mack, but there's a couple young guys in there. We add another weapon for Justin Fields. DJ Moore is, in fact, X Factor. Cole Kmet is, in fact, Superstar. We bring in Dalvin Cook, which is awesome. The offense looks a little better now. We've got Braxton Jones, who's also hopefully going to be developing. Tevin Jenkins, hopefully. We really need a center, that's for sure. And then on defense, we add Khalil Mack to the linebacking core. The defensive line is god-awful, but maybe we can help that. Jalen Johnson, Superstar, we knew that. Stevenson, Levi Wallace is the third corner. Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker. There's some work to be done still. Jack Sanborn's star development now. That's good. But there is some work to be done still. We still have a lot of stuff to do. The defense line is horrible. The center position is horrible. But there's just not a whole lot in free agency for us to do. So we're going to go to the draft period and hope that the draft we can fill the defensive line and we can fill the center spot. Because those are really the two biggest needs that we have. Is every position on the defensive line and our center. I guess we could, if there's not a lot of good centers, we could draft a guard and put them at center. Usually that works out. I don't know. I haven't taken a look at the guard class. I don't know if there's anybody that good. But mock draft number 5 is going to be crucial to see who they have us projected to get and where we're going to kind of go. Because remember, we can't trade up. So where we're projected is who we're going to take, basically. So this mock draft number 5 is going to be big. So our pick is projected to be 7, and then the Panthers made the playoffs, so they're all the way down here at 29. Great. Okay. They have us. Oh, I used my focus scouting, like the entire class, on corner, so we know about 95% on all the corners, maybe 100% on some of them. This guy I was intrigued by, but obviously we're not going to be able to get him. He looks decently good. Who's going to be a guy that is going to fall to us? Brenton Craig is a guy that is projected to go to us. Is he good? He's good physically. C power move, C block shed kind of worries me a little bit. But maybe he's good. This guy right above us, if the Cardinals don't end up taking him, he's got D block shed. Devin Odom. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know where to go. There's a couple good corners, like Josh Simpson looks pretty good. He looks pretty good physically as well. He looks pretty well-rounded, basically. This guy, Ronnie Sermons. Oh, he could be dropping some sermons in the NFL. He's got A-zone coverage. All right, I don't really know where to go. I don't really know who even to use my my scouting stuff on. I have absolutely no idea because since we can't trade, it feels so weird. I can't trade up to get a better player. So we're not going to be able to get these guys. So we don't even want to focus on those guys. I didn't see Forrest Hairston in there. Did you? Did you guys? I didn't see him in there at all, in the top half at least. So maybe he's going to fall and we can get him. I don't know. I definitely didn't see Bryce McDougal. I would have remembered that name, right? Although he doesn't look amazing. There's a decent tight end. Terrell Newberry. Was he at the top? I don't remember. He's got a zone coverage, but his man coverage is bad. Josh Simpson, Tevin Cooper. We don't really need a receiver anymore since we brought in Calvin Ridley. Man, I have no idea who to even use these focus things on. I have absolutely no idea. Probably just defensive linemen, right? Ramon Mullins looks pretty good. I might go for him. Let's just go straight to the defensive line and just go right from there. We're not going to be able to get any of these guys. Maybe Devin Odom if he falls to us, but probably not. So these are where the guys that we're going to be able to get. Like Antoine Cohen, but he doesn't look fast. He's got a block shed, a play rec. Is he a speed rusher? What is he? He's a run stopper. Okay. And then we got Bryce Giles or Giles. His finesse moves are bad. He's a power rusher, right? Oh, he's a run stopper. Okay. Is he 5'6"? Oh, he's 6'6". I thought it said 5'6" for some. I was like, holy crap. Why is he 5'6"? He looks intriguing. I might use it on him. And then on the right end spot, not a whole lot I like there. And then the D tackles, I was looking at Ramon Mullins. So I think I'm going to use Ramon Mullins and then those two left ends, Cohen and Giles. Those are going to be the three guys that we use our focus scouting on. And hopefully that works out in our favor. Because I have no idea what we're going to do. Let's go to the draft. I feel like we got better. I feel like we got better in free agency. All a matter of perspective, though. Let's take a final look at those defensive linemen and see how good they are. I also probably should put them on my board so I don't forget who they are. Cohen and Giles, and then go over here to the D tackle spot and put Mullins on there. Let's start with Mullins. We have it at 95%, so we don't know his true talent, but he looks good physically, and he's got decent moves as his attributes, so he could be a nice guy in that Panther pick if he's still there. And then Cohen and Giles. Cohen's not very fast, but he's got a block shed, a play rec, a pursuit. He's an intriguing player. I don't think he's top 10 worthy, though, which is my only concern. And then Giles is the same, where he's just not... He's good, but I don't think he's a top 10 pick. So I do want to take a look at that mock draft one more time now that we know those names for sure. Where are any of them projected to go? So the first guy that we were looking at is projected to go at 20. So if we want Ramon Mullins, who looks pretty decent to be fair, we have to take him at pick 7. And I don't think he's pick 7 material. Cohen is pick 24. Did I pass anybody else? Cohen is pick 24. And the other dude, Giles, is not even on the board in the first round. So that's good. But this is interesting because I don't think that Ramon Mullins is top 10 material. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. He's a very good player. He looks like a first round pick. but he's not number 7. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I am a drafting god, though, so maybe I am wrong, though. I don't think he's a first-round pick. Let's skip to our pick. Kendrick Hales goes. Junior Justice to the Seahawks. Forrest Hairston. Gordon Dixon, following pretty much the same. Of course, the Patriots take a tackle in the top 10. And now it's our pick. So remember, we can't trade down. Can't trade down at all. So we have to take somebody this pick, even if we don't think that they're worth it. A lot of quarterbacks on the board, but we're not in the market for a quarterback. We could take Bryce McDougal because I was intrigued by him. The only problem is he's not very fast. And he's a power rusher. So maybe he could play on the defensive line. How big is he? 6'2", 267. Oh, he's not a coverage guy, that's for sure. He's definitely our pass rusher. He's got A power moves and probably B to C finesse moves. I could put him on the defensive line and would not be upset. I think he could play down there. But that means we would probably lose out on Ramon Mullins, unless he falls to our pick 29 or whatever we have. I'm going to take McDougal. I think McDougal is a good option. Normal development, not good. I mean, he's a fine player. 83 excel, 82 speed, 78 strength, 78 agility. He's a fine player. That non-development trait really does hurt, especially because I took him top 10. Maybe he'll go up in overall if we put him on the defensive line. I don't know. But now we have to hope and pray that Ramon Mullins, and Ramon Mullins might also have normal development, but we got to hope and pray that he's still there. I doubt he will be. I doubt he'll be there. I'm expecting somebody to take him. Probably the Falcons, who were projected to take him in the mock draft. And they are coming up pretty soon here. So we will see. It really sucks not being able to trade up. Matt Randolph, Terrell Newberry. All right, here's the pick. He was projected to go here, and he does go. Ramon Mullins drafted by the Falcons. I expected him to go there. I didn't expect him to stay around. But this second first-round pick is going to be pretty crucial to what we're trying to get done here. We do need a free safety to replace Eddie Jackson at some point. Elite strength from Travis Holiday. A block shed? Really? Okay. Intriguing. Callum Levy has also elite strength, but he doesn't look as good as the other dude does. Travis Holiday looks pretty good. Travis Holiday's interesting. Here's Bryce Giles as well. 6'6" run stopper. He looks good. He could be our replacement for not getting Ramon Mullins. I'm either going to take him or Travis Holiday. We know a little bit more about Giles, so I feel a little bit more confident taking him. Oh. Maybe we can get both if he falls to us. Holiday falls to us. I'm going to take Giles, because we need defensive line more than we need safety. And hey, look at that. Giles ends up being a hidden development player, 89 strength, 77 speed. So that helps out. But our next pick is pick 7 in the second round. So maybe Holiday falls to us if nobody needs a safety. It's going to be tight. I don't think he will, but maybe teams need a quarterback. There was a couple quarterbacks at the top. J.C. Sheard, McBath, Eugene Basley, and then, okay, so Holiday does fall to us at pick 7 in the second round. We can take him if we want. I think I am going to take him so he can be our future free safety as long as he's good. I hope he is. He looks good. We're going to take him. He's got normal development, but 87 speed, 85 change of direction, 87 acceleration. He's pretty fast. He doesn't need to start right away because we got Eddie Jackson, so he could be something. You never know. He could definitely be something. Now we need to look for offensive linemen. That's for sure. We've gotten other skill position players. We've gotten other positions of need. We need to go for offensive line, preferably the center spot. And we might have missed out on a center in this draft. Walter Goldstein. To be fair, our center right now is like a 63. So as long as they're higher than that, they'll probably start. Jamie Ash has poor strength. He doesn't look amazing, but he looks better than the other dude. Before I take Jamie Ash, is there a guard that we could move to center? This guy's round 3 to 4. Damian Michael, or Michael. Maybe the right guard spot. Do they have anybody? Damian Burgess from the Ohio State University. He looks better than the other guys. I think I'm going to take him, but I want to see Zach Bowden just in case. Looks pretty good physically. I think Burgess is the better player, and he's from Ohio State, so that helps. Is it Damon? Damone? I don't know. Burgess, welcome to the team. Hidden development, 90 strength. That's good for offensive lineman for sure. He's 6'5", 320. And maybe that, since that center was projected to go post, he was projected to go undrafted, maybe we can snag him a little bit later. We'll have to see. But getting that guard is definitely pretty darn good. Getting that guard is pretty good. There's not a lot of receivers left. There's a playmaking receiver here, DeMar Allen, who's got good speed. But he's got too many things that are probably not A's, so we're not going to take him. There's a middle linebacker, pass coverage. Devontae Sullivan is not worth a pick. I think we're just going to try to focus on offensive line again, because those are usually the safest bets. And yeah, Jamie Ash is still, he's an undrafted guy. We're probably going to take him, but I don't want to take him in round 4, because that would be probably a really big reach, an unnecessary reach that we don't need. There's a couple day 3 tackles on the board. He looks okay. He's probably normal development. I'm going to take him. Yeah, he's only normal development. I just didn't really think that there was anything available. I'm going to use that 5th round pick on the center, and then we're going to get out of here. Oh, actually, we have another 4th round pick. I'll just use the 4th round pick on the center, and then we can get out of here and let the CPU handle the rest. So let's go draft the center. Jamie Ash. Probably not going to be great, but he looks as good as anybody else. So he's now, depending on what his overall is, as long as it's higher than like a 63, 64, he's probably going to be our starting center, and we're going to end the draft, let the CPU handle the rest. It wasn't a great draft, but without being able to trade down or trade up, it's kind of hard to get everybody that you want, obviously. So I feel like we got what we could get, and we got the best players that we could get. Just depends on if they'll turn out to be anything. So we have a 73 in McDougal. That's a pretty big whiff, especially at pick 7. Giles ends up being a 74. He's got hidden development. Travis Holliday, 73, but remember, he doesn't need to start because he's got Eddie Jackson in front of him. Burgess is a 71. Ainsworth is a 64. That's bad. 65 for Ash is not great. And then they took a quarterback and a defensive end. Another guy from Ohio State. Good. How good was this class, though? Was it good? Not really. The best player was a 2nd round corner who's a 79. 4 corners. Holy crap. This is a corner class. They're the best players in it. So, I mean, we didn't do horrible. We didn't do great by any means. Especially with that McDougal pick. I really hope that in the defense, in the scheme and stuff, he can get a lot of tackles, a lot of play time, because if not, he's just going to be a big whiff. He's going to be a big whiff. Jamie Ash might actually start once we do generate best lineup. And they do have Jamie Ash starting. We've got Burgess behind Tevin Jenkins, but once Cody Whitehair retires, Burgess will get a start. The offense looks better, especially with these good development trade upgrades and stuff, and adding Calvin Ridley. And then on the defense, we've got Giles. Probably should have Lindley. Actually, Lindley was the guy that the CPU drafted, right? Yeah, Rasheed Lindley from Ohio State, 23 years old. He should probably start. He's got hidden development. So we're going to have him start. Defensive line's still pretty bad. And then Holiday will be behind Eddie Jackson for at least a year. And we've got McDougal sitting behind TJ Edwards for right now. All right, we'll see what happens. I doubt we're going to be much better than 5 wins, but you never know. I'll see you guys at the end of Season 2 with an update. We finished year number 2, and we actually played really, really well. We started the season, I think, 7-0, maybe 6-0. I can't remember. We kind of slid down a little bit. We finished 11-6 on the year, made the playoffs by winning the division, barely beating out the Vikings because we had the tiebreaker edge over them. So we do win the division, get in the playoffs, and are taking on the New Orleans Saints. But year number 2, we're already in the playoffs. This Chiefs playbook is really working for us, and Justin Fields had a much better year than he did last year. He cut down a lot on those interceptions, only having 10 this time. 31 touchdowns is fantastic, 4,000 yards. Dalvin Cook had 1,000 yards, so you can't even keep Dalvin Cook down. Even in a Chiefs playbook, he's still going to dominate with 7 touchdowns. DJ Moore had 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. He is, I think I mentioned, he's the X Factor, right? I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. You guys know that. Darnell Mooney, 980 yards. Cole Kmet had a pretty good season as well. Calvin Ridley, his first year here, had an okay season. Seems like Darnell Mooney got more of the touches, though. And Tremaine Edmonds, 113 tackles, 3 picks. TJ Edwards had 94 tackles and 4 picks. He's getting a lot of picks. Interesting. Some good tackles here. Love to see it. Ooh, Khalil Mack. That's why I like bringing in Khalil Mack, because he always produces a lot of sacks, even in his old age. Our rookie, Bryce Giles, 15 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not. He's an X Factor. I drafted an X Factor defensive lineman in, what, the 2nd round? I guess I could take a look at his stats and his history. Season stats, contracts, awards. I drafted him the 1st round pick. Oh, he was my my 29th pick. So, drafting God? I'm still a drafting God. I don't know what else to say. I'm still a freaking drafting God. What else do you want me to say? But he had a really good season as well. Dexter actually got a development trait upgrade to star. I did see that. Sack leader was Mack with 11, then Giles 6.5. DeMarcus Walker had 6. Very interesting. I moved Bryce McDougal from outside linebacker to defensive end, and now he has 4.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 44 tackles. I also moved Rasheem Lindley. He was our starting defensive lineman. I moved him to D-tackle so that he could get a little bit more play time once McDougal went down to defensive lineman. So now he is a D-tackle. I just wanted to update you guys on all that. Interception leader was Edwards with 4. Edmonds with 3. Stevenson, Jackson, Sanborn had 2. A couple guys had 1. Very good season, and it was good enough to make the playoffs. So I will take that. Year number 2, we're already in the playoffs. Love to see it. Are we going to be able to beat the New Orleans Saints? I doubt it, but let's see. You never know. We lose 35-28. I didn't think we were going to be able to move on. I doubted it very heavily that we were going to move on. That's usually how it happens. We always have a decent season and then get eliminated in the first playoff matchup that we have. So that's all right. We go into the year 2 off season, hopefully with some good amounts of money to spend in free agency on a little bit of holes here and there. But I think with the development of our boys, it's Dolphins-Giants actually in the Super Bowl. Very interesting. With the development of our guys, including Justin Fields, we shouldn't really need to spend too much more money in free agency to fill out the holes. Giants lose to the Dolphins 21-13, so the Dolphins are world champions for the first time since the 70s. Good for Miami. Is that back-to-back rebuild videos where the Dolphins have won a championship? Did they win one in the Panther video? I don't remember. I know they've won one recently, I feel like. We don't win any Rookies of the Year. The Seahawks actually swept it. They got Junior Justice, their quarterback, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Patrick Terry, a defensive lineman, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So they swept the Rookies of the Year. Mahomes is the MVP of the league, and Devon Achane, or Achan, I think it's Devon Achan is how you say his name. He said it recently, but I can't remember exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I apologize if it's not. I think that's what it is. That's your Season 2. Let's get to the off-season of Season 2. Let's get started here. Let me get my gamer stance so I can get focused and ready to go. We're not going to have a good draft pick because we made the playoffs, so we don't have to focus too much on the draft, but we can focus on free agency. Tevin Jenkins I probably want to bring back, so we are going to spend a little bit of money bringing Tevin back. He's 27, so it's a little bit... more expensive of a contract, and he doesn't want to be here. Does he want that? He's happy to sign and come back, so perfect. Khalil Herbert, don't know. Jack Sanborn definitely want back, and he wants to be here really bad. So what about this? He decided to come back. Okay, so Jack Sanborn's back. Eddie Jackson, probably. Nobody else really here. I don't want Cody Whitehair. He's just going to retire next season anyway. Levi Wallace, maybe. He's not expensive. Eddie Jackson. Do we want Eddie Jackson back, or do we want our safety to take the place? Probably Holiday to take his place. Levi Wallace, I might bring back just because he's not expensive. So if he accepts this, fine. If he doesn't, fine. He's excited to come back. Perfect. So we got an extra safety, or we got an extra corner as some depth. I don't want Whitehair back. I don't want Eddie Jackson back, and I don't really want Khalil Herbert back. I don't think we really need him because we have Dalvin Cook and we have Roschon Johnson, so I don't think we need those guys to be there. Let's move on to actual free agency. I do want to take a look at our lineup just to make sure we know the plan going forward. What needs we need to go after at least. So on the offense, we need probably a center. Burgess has star development, by the way, our left guard pick. We probably do need a center. I mean, we could just ride with Ash and hope he develops, but we probably do need a center. We need to get a backup tight end because Cole Kmet's the only one here. Justin Fields is superstar development, by the way. I don't even know why I didn't notice that. He's a superstar development. We've got Cook and we've got Roschon Johnson, so I'm fine with that. And then on the defense, we've got Holiday starting at safety with Jaquan Brisker. Corner, we kept Levi Wallace. So we still have 3 corners. Gervin Dexter. How old is Dexter? He is 23. Okay, perfect. So we've got 2 young star development D tackles now. So we don't have to worry about that. We can just let those guys develop, hopefully. We've got an X-Factor defensive lineman in Giles. We got to hope that McDougal develops. We got backup in Sanborn, so we don't really need to get a backup for Khalil Mack. I think we're pretty good. We need to get depth, basically, at this point. We need to get depth and a center. A starting center. That's really all that we need to do. That's our plan. Is that actually going to be what happens when we actually go into free agency and see the class? I don't know. Let's see who it is. It's Aaron Donald and Nick Chubb and Greg Newsome, which would be really good to have. How are you going to throw Aaron frickin' Donald in my face and not expect me to at least go after him? Especially because he wants to be here. How are you going to do this to me? Nick Chubb, we're not going to be able to get, and we can't even trade Dalvin Cook away, so it's not like, it'd just be a waste. So we're not going to go after Nick Chubb. But I can't just have Aaron Donald be here and not throw a contract at him. That's just disrespectful to him and to me. So I can't, I have to at least throw a contract at him. So we're going to do that. Maybe we get him, maybe we don't, but at least I've thrown an offer at him. I do want Greg Newsome, though. So we're going to be a little bit more aggressive towards Newsome. Hopefully he accepts that. That is the best offer he's got. Perfect. JOK is also very intriguing. We could get... This is the type of class where we could get really good really fast. There's some really good players down here for depth reasons, which would what we need. Okay, I know we said we need a center. I might still get a center, but JOK is here. I don't know how I can't offer him a contract. But that's all of our money, and we can't... It's not like we can trade away players. Oh, do we ride with Ash? I gotta offer him a contract. I gotta offer him a contract. I can't just let Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah just be there and not offer him a contract. So that's going to be our guys. We don't have any other money to offer anybody, so we're going to hit the evaluation period. All 3 signed, but did all 3 sign with us? We didn't get Greg Newsome, which is really the only one that I wanted. But we do get JOK, and we got Aaron Donald. Okay. That's cool. I like that. And we still have $13 million to get a center, I guess. So Greg Newsome doesn't show up, but the defense looks a lot better now. If we go over here to the generate best lineup, we've got Aaron Donald, who I probably should just straight up put on D tackle again. Because JOK goes over here. I should probably, actually TJ Edwards is a higher overall. I was going to say I should probably have, actually I could probably put Mack at defensive lineman. Yeah, that's what I might do. I think I'm going to switch Aaron Donald to be a D tackle again. We're going to have... No, I don't want to restructure his contract. We're going to have him be a D tackle again. That way we have 3 D tackles. We have Dexter and we have Donald. I'm going to make Mack a defensive lineman again. so that he's not just sitting there backing up. I know he's older at this point, and we probably should value McDougal, but I'm trying to get good right away. So we're going to have Khalil Mack be a defensive end, just like he used to be. And we've got Aaron Donald, Dexter. This is looking pretty good right now. The linebackers are looking good. We need to get a tight end backup and a center. And maybe a right guard. But Nate Davis is okay for right now. Okay, so we got our plan. That was a crazy free agency right there. Getting JOK and Aaron Donald. But we need to go get a center. And we need to go get a backup tight end. So let's just go straight there. Backup tight ends. Who's available? Doesn't have to be anybody crazy. Albert O wants to be here. He might just have to be the guy. Because I don't want to get David Njoku. He's fine, but I don't really want him. Foster Morono. And Albert O is 27 still, so that's pretty cheap. Or pretty young. See if we can get him a little bit cheaper than that. Maybe he accepts. Hopefully he does. And then the center spot. Does anybody want Mitch Morse? There's 2 people in on him. Billy Price. You know what? Looking at these guys, there's not really anybody that's better than Jamie Ash, if we're being totally honest. Like, I know Ash is a normal development, and he's like 60-something overall. What is he exactly? He is a 69. Nice. So, I mean, he's not that much lower than any of those guys we would bring in. So, I don't hate the fact that we just keep him and maybe just draft a center and see if they're better. I don't know. Why did I go back to this? I wanted to go to free agency. That could be a possibility. You never know. Let's go back to free agency and evaluate that offer. So we have targeted Albro. He doesn't accept, but he does accept the second time. So we got a backup for Cole Kmet, so he's not the only guy there. That's perfect. I think that's going to be all of our free agency. We're going to save the rest of our money, mainly because I don't think we need anything else. I think we're just going to ride with our young guys that we have, like Holiday. We could have signed a free safety, but we might as well just ride with Holiday back there. He's not going to be that much of a liability. He's already mid-70s, so he's pretty good. And bringing Aaron Donald and JOK is hopefully going to help us out a lot, especially now that Khalil Mack is down on the defensive line, because I remember last time we did that when we brought in Khalil Mack and put him on the defensive line. He got like 20 sacks or something, or 15 sacks, some crazy number of sacks that next year, so hopefully he can do that again. And having Aaron Donald is always going to be nice, so that's a big free agency period for us. Now we go into the draft picks, or the prospects, and I don't really know who we're going to draft. I used my focus scouting or whatever, the national scouting on defensive linemen, so we know like 95% on a lot of those guys. There were a couple guys that I scouted at week 11 who hopefully are pretty good, like Trey Jackson I scouted at week 11, and he looks okay. He doesn't look amazing, but he does look decent. Did I scout a center? I think I did. I scouted this guy, Hunter Melvin, and Hunter Melvin looks pretty good. He looks actually really good. I might use one of them on him just to figure out how good he actually is. And we know 95% on all these defensive linemen. What about safeties? Safeties and corners would be good because we can always use safeties and corners. But I don't think there's anybody here that's like outrageously good. Justin Wagner has got elite speed. I'm intrigued by that. A-man, B-zone. He's a very intriguing player. I'll scout him to see him a little bit more. And then I want to scout, we know 100% on this guy, Michael Sims. I want to scout the center a little bit more to figure out exactly how good he is. And I probably want to scout Trey Jackson that little bit more just to figure out exactly how good he is. So let's go add those guys to the board. It was the center, add him to favorites, Trey Jackson, and then it was a corner, right? Was it a corner? Or was it a safety? Oh, it's Justin Wagner. That's right. Justin Wagner, the corner. Okay, perfect. So those 3 guys I've added to the board. We're going to go to the draft. I think we only have the 1 first-round pick this year. It's going to be pretty high in the, or pretty low in the draft, I guess I should say. because we were good and in the playoffs. But I don't know exactly where it is. It's probably in the 20s. I guess we could take a look at this final mock draft just to see. All right, final mock draft. What do we got? We've got our pick at pick 20-something, probably? 24. Okay. Our pick is pick 24. How good were those guys that we scouted? So, Hunter Melvin's actually around 1 to 2 talent. We're definitely taking him. Trey Jackson's around 2 to 3 talent, and we don't know officially on Justin Wagner. But I'm guessing he's going to be pretty good because he looks solid. He looks like a solid player. So these 3 guys we're probably going to take. I'm probably going to take Justin Wagner with my first round pick. And then we'll take the rest of the guys subsequently. But I do want to make sure that Justin Wagner's not projected to go higher than what we're picking. I don't see him on here. He is not a first round pick according to the board. Perfect. That's perfect. We'll take him with our first round pick, pick 24, whatever it is. And then we'll take those 2 offensive linemen, and we'll be pretty good in this draft. I'll feel pretty confident we get those 3 guys. I'll feel pretty confident. So let's skip straight to our pick. Make the selection. Hope that our guy's on the board. And draft him. And he got taken. He wasn't projected to go in the draft. So I didn't expect him to go. That blows. All right, now we got to adjust. We got to move on. We got to find somebody else, maybe like a Lonnie Wakefield. Doesn't look amazing technically, but physically looks okay. Chris Pearson, wide receiver, 6'4", elite jumping. He's got some potential there. What about Sergio McAllister? He's got himself some decent physicals. His juke move is a C. Probably not a first-round pick. Probably not a first-round pick. Gabe Goodard? Or Goddard? Probably not it either. What about... I don't know why I'm looking at running backs. They just happen to be here. He looks pretty fast. He's got an A juke move. Franklin Camp looks better than the other 2 running backs, at least speed-wise and agility-wise. Screw it. We'll take a running back first round. And he's a 94 speed, 95 excel, hidden development running back, Franklin Camp. Drafting God, maybe, possibly, question mark. We'll take the offensive lineman now. We have 2 second-round picks, one from the Panthers. So we'll use those second-round picks probably on these 2 guys. I know they're projected to go 3rd round. Maybe that's a little bit of a reach. Maybe we can get somebody else. Is there a wide receiver that we could grab? Is this guy that bad? Kenny Rich, 5'10" playmaker. He's the fastest receiver on the board. He's really just fast. He can't catch. He can't catch in traffic. He's just a speed guy. That's literally all he is. I can see why he's still on the board. Because he can't do anything else. I'm not going to take a receiver. Do we even think about taking a tight end? A 6'6" tight end, Emmanuel Neighbors. Looks okay. Can't really block. I don't know. Jaron Long, 6'4", decently athletic. James Driscoll, maybe those guys are better. I don't know. I wouldn't hate taking a tight end, especially in a Kansas City playbook. I'll take James Driscoll. Iowa tight end. Iowa tight ends usually produce. He's only no development, but that could easily change if he's a high enough overall and passes Cole Kmet. So 85 speed, 85 excel is pretty decent. And he's an Iowa tight end, so Iowa tight ends are always good. That'll be our first second-round pick. Then we'll use this second-round pick on one of the offensive linemen, probably the center. And then we will move forward here. So we'll get Hunter Melvin. He's probably going to be straight up better than Jamie Ash. He's not a hidden development, but he does have 92 strength. I'm guessing he's going to be a higher overall than Jamie Ash was, just right off the bat. So that's good. Then we will skip to our 3rd round pick, and we will take the guard, and that'll be our draft for year number 2. Kenny Rich is still on the board. Oh, he's gone. The guard got taken. Wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he'd be there. Kenny Rich is still here. He's just really bad. He is just really bad. TJ Nix looks average, I guess. Man-to-man corner, Nick Espinosa, Carlos Turner. What a name that is. Who's this guy? Kevin Ray. I mean, we were going to take a guard anyway. Maybe we just take this guy. Kevin Ray. Sure, let's take him. Oh, look at that. Hidden development. Yeah, who knows if our guy was even going to have hidden development. I don't know. But that's going to be the draft for us. We'll let the CPU handle the rest of it. Maybe they drafted us a hidden development player last time. That defensive lineman from Ohio State. So maybe they get somebody else. 2 years down. 2 years in the books. Love to see it. I think we had a better draft than we did in year number 1, even though I did draft an X Factor in year number 1. But this team is looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good. I think we're still a year or two away. Franklin Camp actually ends up being a 76 overall. He could be our future running back after Dalvin Cook is gone. 73 for Driscoll. 74 for Melvin. He's already better than our center. And 73 for Ray. So I'll take that. They also drafted another running back who's a 71. And then they got a couple other guys that are not that great. As far as the class, there was an 82 corner, Nathan Tiller, hardly know her, but I was never going to be in position to get him, so it doesn't matter. Hargrave's an 81, so this was a pretty good class, but like I said, I was never going to be in a position to get those guys. We just didn't have, we can't trade, so we can't get those guys anyway. So considering where we were in the draft, I think we had some pretty good draft picks, especially that running back. I think that running back is actually going to end up being pretty darn good for us. So as we head into year number 3, I will generate the best lineup and we will look and see how this team is. Generate best lineup, and Melvin will start. Ray is backing up Jenkins. We've got Burgess backing up Nate Davis. Offense looks pretty good, actually. The offense does look pretty good, especially adding in Franklin Camp. And then on the defensive side of things, bringing in Aaron Donald is going to be really helpful. We've got Holiday. We've got a decent linebacking core, especially with JOK there. I think we're ready. I don't think we're going to be a championship team in year 3, but maybe year 4. Maybe year 4 we could definitely be a championship team. So I'm going to simulate to year number 4 or year number 3 playoffs, and I hope that we improved. I think we will. We'll have to wait and see. We've made it to the year 3 playoffs, and the boys have the best record in the NFC. We are 12-5, ladies and gentlemen. The Chiefs playbook is finally coming together. It's finally working. We've been getting better and better, but it's now time to actually take over and dominate. Justin Fields is a freaking X-Factor player now. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. That makes me so happy to see him be an X-Factor. He's not going to have Omaha. He's going to have Gambit, because if we get in the game, like in the Super Bowl or something, and he has his X-Factor activated, I don't want to throw a pick. So we're going to have him have that. He's not super high overall, so he's not going to have any like amazing abilities. But we're going to give him Quick Draw for sure. We're going to give him Jukebox could be fun since he's a scrambling quarterback. And Tight Out might be good as well. What else should we give him for right now? Maybe Spin Cycle, that could be fun. I think we'll let him have... Ooh, Agile Extender might be good. Let's give him Agile Extender. I was going to let him have Tight Out, but we'll give him Agile Extender. And we've made the playoffs in the NFC divisional round because we were obviously the #1 seed in the NFC, so we didn't have to play the wild card game. We're looking pretty good on offense. 3 X Factors on offense. Obviously, we've got Giles and Aaron Donald on defense. It turns out that I'm just the GOAT. I'm just the GOAT rebuilder because Holiday is now a star development player. I think he had a development upgrade during the season. So that is, he must have, because we can't, we haven't gone through like progression or anything like that. So he must have had some sort of development upgrade during the season. But it looks like he's the only one that I notice who's gotten one. Yeah, it looks like everybody else is still the same, unless I just missed a backup or something. But I wouldn't think a backup would be getting a higher overall. But we're looking pretty good, and we are taking on the, who are we taking on? The Falcons. We're taking on the Falcons in the NFC divisional round. It looks like Justin Fields led the league by a little bit. He might have, wait, hold on, back up. Did he lead the league by 1 yard? Did he lead the league by 1 yard? He did. He beat Joe Burrow by literal 1 passing yard to lead the NFL. That's crazy. And he has basically exactly the same passing stats, right, from last season? I guess we can take a look at his numbers. If we go to his stats and contracts, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same, right? No, he actually bumped up. He had the same interceptions, but he did bump up his touchdowns from 31 to 38. So he had a very good year. He could win MVP of the league with these kind of numbers, especially being on the best team in the NFC. So that helps. Dalvin Cook's numbers drop a little bit, but that's just because Justin Fields' offensive passing numbers went up a little bit more. DJ Moore absolutely feasted on the receiving yards this year. 1,400, 15 touchdowns. Cole Kmet had 1,000. Mooney had 800. Calvin Ridley played really well as well. And even Franklin Camp, the rookie, got in 17 catches as well. And then defensively, no surprise, Tremaine Edmonds is at the top. Not shocked by that at all. He also had 2.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. JOK in his first year here has 99 tackles, 2 sacks, or 1 sack, 2 interceptions. Jalen Johnson, it kind of drops off a little bit from the 2 linebackers, but that's okay. Then the tackle for loss leader is Bryce Giles with 20 tackles for loss and 16, or where did I get 16 from? Probably from here. 10 sacks, and then Aaron Donald proves to be a valuable asset even at his older age. 16 for loss and 15 sacks, which I'm assuming is the lead. It is. Mack had 11.5 even in his extended age. McDougal had 5.5. Travis Holiday led the team with 4 interceptions. Do we think that 46 tackles and 4 picks is going to go up to superstar? Maybe not, but there's a good shot. It can't hurt, obviously. He had a good year. The whole team had a good year, and I would expect nothing less than a win against the Falcons. Can we get her done? I think we can. I think we should, and we do. We only win 10-7, a little bit of a nail-biter. Not liking that too much, but now we play the San Fran 49ers at Soldier Field at 6:40 p.m. It's probably going to be a little snowy, I would assume, because it's, what, early January in, or maybe mid-January in Chicago, so it's probably going to be snowy, or at least super cold. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this done or not. The 49ers are a tough team, and they're really good in simulation. I guess we'll find out. 12-5 versus 11-6. Can we go to our first Super Bowl of the rebuild? We do. 24-17. The Bears are in the championship against the Chiefs. Who else but the Kansas City Chiefs? This is year number 3, remember. We're only 3 years in, and this team has developed into a championship organization. We beat them 24-17. We take on the 5-seeded Chiefs. The Chiefs were not even like a top seed in the AFC playoffs this year. Very off-brand for Kansas City, the Fighting Taylor Swifts. Will they win another championship, though? Have they won the past 2? I know they won the first one, right, against the 49ers, but did they win the second one last? No, the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins won last year. So it's Chiefs and it's Bears. We're still going to go another season regardless if we win this or not. But this is going to be a very tough matchup. I don't have a lot of good luck going up against the Chiefs in simulation. I'm going to jump into this game, and we're going to see if we can help the Bears win their first Super Bowl since the 80s. Let's get it. I'm scared.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bears and the Chiefs, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's Super Bowl time, and I can't believe we're here already in year number 3. going up against a high-powered Chiefs team. It's a defensive battle. Chiefs score in the second quarter, but we fight back at the stop of the second quarter, and we score again. It's 14-7. 21-14. I don't know what happened there. It's 21-21. 21-21. We have the ball with under 5 minutes to go. Can we secure a world championship for the Chicago Bears? It's going to be tough. Justin Fields is going to try to get her done. I think we can. Remember, we have Gambit for our X Factor if we do get it activated. I can't throw interceptions, but who needs interceptions? Oh, Justin. I forgot that I was playing with you. I know you're upgraded and you're a better player, but that was horrible. Cole Kmet was wide open down the middle on that wheel. I really wanted to hit him. But he can hit this one. Calvin Ridley! Bet on it, baby! Calvin Ridley with a huge play. 20-yard line. 300 yards for Justin Fields through the air is absolutely insane. That is a crazy stat line. And Ridley's got 5 for 141, so I think we know who Justin's favorite target is this game. Dalvin Cook's got some speed, and he's got some free real estate to the 6-yard line. But do I want to score super early? Because it's still very early into this fourth quarter. There's still a ton of time for Mahomes and the Chiefs to come back and win this game. I think we'll just ride it out. If we score, we score. And Dalvin Cook scores. So the Bears have the lead with less than 4 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. Oh, baby, baby. This is actually insane. We're going to go play-by-play here. And the Chiefs are driving down the field, no surprise. And they score. Okay. I'm not shocked that the Chiefs scored fairly easily. But that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Woo, this is getting intense, boys. This is getting real intense. DJ Moore has his X Factor double me, but it's not activated. I got to get that away a little quicker than I wanted to. 3rd and 9. Tried to get that out to Dalvin Cook. Little inaccurate. I had a guy in my face. We got to utilize Justin Fields' speed. I mean, he's got, what, like 95 speed or whatever I said earlier in the video? We've definitely got to utilize it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to here unless I throw it quickly, and it's not going to work. Justin Fields throws inaccurate. I didn't like the routes, and I had nobody to throw to there. So I'm not going to go for it. That'd be a stupid thing to do. We're going to let the Chiefs see if they can... Wait, do I have the ball? Oh my God, what happened? Hold on. What just happened? I need recap. How do I see the recap here? Stats. I might have to go back to the Super Sim to see the... Okay, view play history. Okay, here we go. So what... Hold on, what happened? I'm so confused on what just happened here. So the extra point's good. Justin Fields passed to Dalvin Cook. Yada. Incomplete to Cole Kmet. There's the touchdown. Okay, there's the Chiefs drive. Now we get the ball back. Incomplete pass. There's the punt. Interception on the first play by Tyreek Stevenson. Mahomes threw an interception on the very first play of the drive. That's insane. And I'm going to let the boys handle it. We're in overtime. What happened? Oh, I was going to let the boys handle it. 1st and 10, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 16. I don't like that. Sacked for a big loss. Oh, no. The Chiefs have 3 turnovers, though. I was going to let them handle it. All they had to do was, what, kick a field goal or something? They didn't have to do too much. Fields on the run. I don't like this. I got to throw it. It's going to be caught by Ridley. I don't know how he caught it, but he just got there. I got to stop rolling out and throwing like that. This is a crucial decision. I think we have to go for this. We're in the Super Bowl. If we don't get this... If we don't get this, it's probably game over. No. We got to call a timeout here and punt it back. We got to punt it back to him. I cannot afford to get that and screw it up like that. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5, 4th and 2. They punt the ball back to us. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. 3rd and 2. 4th and 5. What happened? We punt it back to them. 2nd and 3, 1st and 10, 2nd and 4. They might be in field goal range. We're in a double overtime in the Super Bowl. And the Kansas City Chiefs kick a field goal to win the Super Bowl in double overtime. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes. We've lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs in year 3 on double overtime field goal win. by Harrison Bucker. We outplayed... We didn't outplay. We played level to what Patrick Mahomes did in that game. And we went to double overtime and lost the Super Bowl on a field goal. Heartbreak in Chicago as we fail in year 3 to win a championship. We were always going to go another season. We were always going to go year 4. But now is the time. The winning window has been officially opened. We were a missed opportunity in the Super Bowl away from winning a championship. We've got one more off season, kind of. I mean, we could go deeper. We could go 5 years if we needed to, but I think year number 4 has to be the year. We don't win any awards, nothing like that. Joe Burrow takes the MVP from Justin Fields. I thought he might have won it, but I guess Joe Burrow had just a better season for some reason. But we've got $92 million to make this team Super Bowl ready. I don't know who needs a new contract. That's probably going to take probably 40, 50 million of our budget, depending on who's in there. I really hope it's not Justin Fields, but it probably is. And it is DJ Moore and Justin Fields and Jaquan Brisker. Well, we're not going to be signing anybody in free agency because literally our whole team needs new contracts. All right. Let's get Justin Fields locked up. Absolutely, for sure. I really don't want to franchise tag him, so I'm going to have to pay him a good amount of money. We'll give him that, and he says that's a good deal. That takes a huge chunk of change away. DJ Moore is going to take even more. He wants to be in a warm weather state. Well, I can't change that, so we're just going to have to overpay. Too bad. That's too bad. He went to Maryland. How does he want to be? I know he played in Carolina, but why does he want to be in a warm weather state when he went to Maryland? I'll give him 14 and 12, and he's excited to come back. Okay. Jaquan Brisker's got to come back, but we got to be careful. We can't be spending too much money because we got to bring back everybody, or at least try to. Jaquan Brisker is back. Darnell Wright has to come back. Oh, no, we have to accept his option. Perfect. I didn't want to pay him anyway. Braxton Jones has to come back. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to be here. And he's coming back. We have $13 million. Do we bring back Dalvin Cook? That's a big question. I kind of want to run it back with Khalil Mack, and he's going to be probably the rest of our budget, unless we want to bring Kyler Gordon back to the team. I don't think we need to bring back Dalvin Cook. We have that rookie running back, or now I guess he's a second-year running back. So I don't think we need Dalvin Cook anymore. And we probably don't need TJ Edwards anymore, especially at 30 years old. So I think we spend the little bit of our money that we have left on a one-year contract on Khalil Mack, try to run it back one more season. We got $4 million. We've got $4 million, and I think I'm going to keep that right where it is. So forget about signing free agents because we had to pay so many players this year. But we're just going to run it back with the team that we have. I think this team is good enough. I mean, we're getting another year of progression for Justin Fields, so we might as well just try to be the best team we can be. I wouldn't think that we'd have any sort of decline. I mean, we have the exact same team, and we're only getting better because everybody's just developing even more. So I would expect us to be right back there in the Super Bowl next season. Hopefully it's not against the Chiefs because I have no luck against Mahomes and the Chiefs in this game. I always lose to them, either if I'm playing in the game or if I'm simulating against them. It's very rare that I beat them. It's happened, but it's very rare that I beat them. We should have beaten them there in that game, in that Super Bowl. We should be the defending champs. Unfortunately, we're not. We obviously are going to have one of the last picks in the draft, so I have no idea who even in this class. There's not going to be anybody that's going to be good to take for us. So I guess we could scout running backs since we just lost Dalvin Cook. We could look for a running back that might be a nice backup to the guy that we have now. Malachi Pruitt doesn't have the speed. I'm looking for speed running backs because those are usually the ones that are the best. This guy's also 5'9". He's got a little bit of speed to him. I'll add a thing to him. I'll remember Jerry Wilbon. We will look for him. Also, is there a receiver late in the draft that could be good? Not late in the draft, late in the first round. Brandon Bacon, I like the name. Interesting player. A deep route running. Bacon could be something. We'll scout him. What about Quinnen Sutton. Not fast enough and not really that good skill-wise. Malik Johnson. Nah, not really interested in him too much. I think we're going to go with Brandon Bacon. We're going to go with that running back. And maybe there's a tackle in the board. Matt Turner. Maybe he's a possible guy for us. Or maybe it's Ron Spearman. Great name, by the way. Ron Spearman. He doesn't look amazing. This center is the best center on the board. And he doesn't look great physically. We don't need a center, really. There's a couple interesting right tackles. Nobody's like an amazing athlete, but this guy looks pretty good other than that. Juan Simpson. I think I'm going to use it. Oh, who's this guy? From Ohio State as well? John Yarborough? Not the greatest athlete, but he's got a lot of A's. I want to know a little bit more about him. So I'm going to use John Yarborough. I'm going to use Bacon, Brandon Bacon, and we're going to use that running back as well, Jerry Wilbon. Those are going to be my 3 focus workouts. It's not going to matter too much. I don't even know if any of those guys are going to be there when we pick in the like second to last pick in the first round. But you never know. Maybe they will be. Maybe they will be. Let me just add them to the board so we can keep track of them. Prospects, running backs, Wilbon will add to the board. Receiver, Bacon will add to the board. And was he a left tackle? No, he's a right tackle, right? Or is he a guard? He was a right tackle. There he is. John Yarborough. Also add Juan Simpson to the board, too, just in case, because he also looked pretty good. But we'll add them to the board. And we'll start the NFL draft. We pick at pick 31. No surprise there. Let's skip to our pick. Skip to my Lou. And see if any of those guys are on our board. I didn't check the mock draft, so I don't know if they were going to go or not. But let's see if they're still available. The only guy available is Jerry Wilbon, and we needed a backup running back. He has no ball-carrying vision, but he's got B juke move, B spin move. I'm going to take a running back as a backup. We just lost Dalvin Cook. Well, we got ourselves our backup replacement. 5'9" out of Auburn. 94 speed, 93 excel, 85 agility. Good backup. He's got hidden development. I'll take it. Pretty decent. Next pick is the 31st pick in the second round. I'm probably only going to make this pick and then let the CPU handle the rest, because at this point, nobody in this draft is going to make a difference for a team that's already challenging for a Super Bowl. So this center doesn't look that great. I took a look at him. Who's this corner? Dante Banks. Not the fastest. Oh, this is a quarterback. I thought this said a corner. This is the corner, but he's not good zone-wise, so I'm not interested in Felix Cheeks? Are you kidding me? Please be good. He's not fast. He's mid. Why does he have to have a name like that and not be good? Torrey Shepard, 6'2". Can't really press, and he don't know what his man is, but he might be the best player left. I might have to take him. Who's this guy? Channing Irving. Nice name. Solid. That's a solid, strong name. He looks okay. And this guy, Dennis Shepard, is still on the board, and I can see why. He's not good. I think I'm going to take Torrey Shepard, a 6'2" corner who can play decent zone. We're going to take him. He's only normal development, but that replaces the corner that we lost, who was... I forget his name. He's fast, 91 speed, 94 excel. He looks pretty good. He just doesn't have a development trait. Those are going to be the only 2 picks that I take. And we keep him local. He's from Illinois. So, or he played at Illinois. We're going to end the draft there. The CPU can handle the rest. None of the guys are going to matter. They're not going to make a difference. The running back, maybe. Probably not, though. And the corner, he could get some play time depending on what his overall is. But at this point in the series, especially because we can't trade, at this point in the rebuild video, they're not going to make that much of a difference. So let's take a look. How good were the guys that we drafted? We got ourselves a 73, which is the running back, and a 75. So Torrey Shepard, even though he's not a development trait guy, 75 overall is still solid. He's going to get some playtime. He's going to get some snaps. They also took a linebacker, Dwayne Canty, who's a hidden development player. 92 speed, 89 excel. Looks like a coverage linebacker, middle linebacker, but still pretty solid. That's nice depth on the team. Everybody else is kind of mid, but that's okay. How good was the class? Did we get the best player in the class? No way. Okay, I was gonna say Josh Lowry goes as a corner. He was the best player, tied for the best player with a tackle. But we're right up there. We are right up there with our corner. Here he is, Torrey Shepard. So, I mean, hey, we got him in the second round, and he's one of the top players in the class. This class was just overall not great. There's a couple 77s, some 76s. But if a 77 is your highest overall, the draft class is always going to be weak. So, considering what we got some pretty good players to add to the team, some depth. But this is the year, man. This is year 4. We were just in the Super Bowl. I don't see any reason why we're not back in it this year. Cole Kmet is an X factor. Cole Kmet is a freaking X factor. We've got Camp now as the starting running back. We've got 3 solid receivers that I trust. Ray is now starting at right guard, and he's a superstar development player. Did I just draft a superstar development player a couple years ago? I didn't realize it. I'm goated. I'm goated on the sticks. And then defensively, we will bump Canty up to backup middle linebacker because he's got the development trade over Noah Sewell. But we're looking pretty good. Holiday is a superstar development player. I just noticed that now. Holiday is a superstar development player. I don't know who this Mayweather guy is, but he's a star development guy. I like the corners. I like the defensive line. I like the safeties. I like the linebackers. I think we're pretty good. We are ready to cook. Back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. I'm expecting it. I will see you guys at the end of the year 4 season in the playoffs. Hopefully with, again, the best record in the league because we're basically the same team. We just got a little better with development traits and with overalls. So I would expect no different. I'll see you guys then. We've made it to the end of the year 4 season, back in the playoffs and back right where we expected to be in the divisional round as the #1 seed in the NFC, going 14-3 this year. Justin Fields, this team, we're just playing at all. We're firing on all cylinders right now. I mean, Justin Fields is playing up 6. I've never seen that much morale for a quarterback. That is crazy. He's playing up 6. Absolutely insane. He's having a great year. DJ Moore is a 97, but he's up to a 99 with the morale. The offensive line is looking good. The defense, I'm assuming, is looking just as good, and we are. I mean, even Dexter's up to a 76. I hit a home run with Giles. He's amazing. Stevenson's becoming a #2 corner, maybe even a #1, but Jalen Johnson's here. Khalil Mack was proving to be a good signing. McDougal's even playing good. I bet McDougal would be playing even better if we didn't sign Mack or if we didn't move him down to defensive line. But McDougal's still a solid pick for us. What was he? Was he our first ever pick in the draft? He might have been. No. Was he? Yeah, he was. He was pick 7, wasn't he? Well, you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. Justin Fields did lead the league in passing yards once again. Oh, he had a fantastic year. 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns to just 4 picks with a 73% completion percentage. Give him the MVP right now. That's an unbelievable season from Justin Fields. He's on his revenge tour. He's getting that championship. Franklin Camp, unfortunately, I just realized he's out of meat chicken, so that's a little bit of a bad thing, but hey, he had a very productive season for us with 986 yards, 11 touchdowns. DJ Moore improved even more in the yards with 1,514 touchdowns. Cole Kmet had a 1,000-yard season again with 10 touchdowns. Mooney had a good year. Ridley had a good year. Even Camp had a good year out of the backfield. So Justin Fields was just spreading his load all over this offense. JOK, 116 tackles. No surprise there. Actually, Tremaine Edmonds, it is a little bit surprising that he passed Tremaine Edmonds. Usually Tremaine Edmonds is the guy at the tackle spot, but he actually only had 107. I say only 107. That's crazy still. Brisker had a good year. So did Jalen Johnson. 8 tackles for loss for Brisker is pretty cool too. Donald led the team with 17 tackles for loss, then Mack, then Giles. Sack leader was Bryce McDougal with 13.5. As the backup right end, he had 13.5 sacks. That's definitely star development for Bryce McDougal. If we were going to go a year 5, he would be probably taking over against Khalil Mack when I would assume Khalil Mack's going to get close to retiring pretty soon. So McDougal's the next guy. That's an amazing season, and I didn't miss. I knew he would develop. I told you I'm a drafting god. 9 sacks for Donald, 8 for Mack, 4.5 for Giles. He's just a consistent body. And then picks, not really a lot of picks this year, but hey, we got it done. We were the best team in the NFC, and we are taking on the Seattle Seahawks, I'm pretty sure, in this playoff round. We are. Let's see if we can get it done. Back-to-back NFC championships, please, 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 please. And it is a back-to-back playoff win, playoff championship appearance, And Fields goes up to an 89 overall true talent. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys are always a tough out, especially in simulation. We just got to focus and we got to get it done. Because I think we can do it. And even though the Cowboys are a tough out, I think we got it. I think we got the team that can do it. Please. Please, baby Jesus, give me a W. It is. It's a close one. And we get our rematch. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I'm so happy that the Chiefs are back in the championship game again because we get to get our revenge. We can shove it down Mahomes' throat. Patrick Mahomes, not Jackson Mahomes. And we get to beat them like they beat us the year prior. It is a rematch. They actually had a better season than us. These are the two best teams in all of the NFL. The Bears and the Chiefs are the best teams in the NFL. It's just that simple. Cowboys are good. Other teams are probably good, but we are the best team in the NFL. These two teams right here. There's not really much of a debate. Chiefs and Bears. I mean, we went to double freaking overtime last year in the Super Bowl. How can you really debate anything other than we're the best teams? So let's go, and we can give him more. We can give him more stuff. So we'll give him protected, and we'll give him. Should we give him a little inside Deadeye? That could be good. Or maybe. Does he have Gutsy Scrambler? Gutsy Scrambler's a good one, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Where's Gutsy Scrambler at? Do I not have it unlocked? Can I not get it yet? He's so close to getting the good ones. There's Gutsy Scrambler. Passers with this ability are immune to throw penalties caused by the defensive pressure while on the run. That's a good one, but I don't know if that's what I want. When using pump fakes, I don't really want that. No look Deadeye, I might need that one. Because I did see, last year in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, I was throwing across my body, and it wasn't accurate. So, 20 yards, no look Deadeye could be useful. Do we want to keep him having Jukebox? Probably, because Jukebox is always a fun ability. And maybe we should take off Gambit and give him Running Gun or something. That could be a little bit more useful. Or maybe Truz, since he's a running quarterback. I'm going to give him Truz. We're going to give Justin Fields Truz, and we're going to see how that works out in the Super Bowl. But this is our team, boys. This is the team that will take us to back-to-back championship games against the Chiefs. How sweet it is to play against Kansas City. I will see you guys in there for our revenge game.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Chiefs and the reigning NFC champs. Coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Back in the Super Bowl for the second straight year against the same team, and it's a tight one again in the second quarter. We take a 14-7 lead. They take it's a 14-10, 21-10 at halftime. Now in the third quarter. 28-10, I like the sound of that. 28-17. A little bit more risky. 35-17, I think it's going to happen, boys. We have a minute and 19 to go, but we are going to punt the ball back, so I'll jump to the next play and all that stuff. They're going to waste their timeouts, 3rd and 3. They can honestly score. It's not going to matter too much, and they do. We just got to get that ball back, and I think we did. Yeah, onside kick recovered by Chicago. 17 seconds left. It is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. No more timeouts. We've gotten our revenge on the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat us last year in double overtime on a game-winning field goal, But this year, Justin Fields had that dog in him. He came back, he had the eye of the tiger, and he said, nah, we are not losing 2 straight years to the Chiefs. And we come back and win a Super Bowl. I have completed the no-trade rebuild. I didn't make a single trade this entire video, even though I really wanted to at some points because we needed some better draft picks. I really wanted to, but we stuck with it. We signed a bunch of free agents. Getting Aaron Donald, I think, was a real big change, a momentum shift in this video. Adding him to the team along with JOK really, I think, pushed this team into the next level. And obviously the development of Justin Fields. I didn't even waste any time. I went straight to Kansas City playbook from the get-go, from the jump, from season 1. Usually I wait a year, kind of just go for the best draft pick possible. But this year I just wanted to get Justin Fields' development right out of the way. So he had a good season. He's now an X-Factor player and probably MVP of both the Super Bowl and the league. And he gets to hold a Lombardi trophy. We are the defending champions. Back to back. And Justin Fields completely destroyed Mahomes in the game. Not in terms of yards, but 5 touchdowns and a much better completion percentage. Justin Fields is most certainly winning Super Bowl MVP. And we've got it done. I have completed one of my more difficult challenges. Which is to do a rebuild with no trading whatsoever. I honestly didn't know how long this is going to take. It's nice that it took 4 seasons. Almost should have taken 3. We probably would have won it last year. But they got us in that one. And we've set up the Bears very well. Now, they are in a little bit of cap misery, you could say, because we've signed Justin Fields to a massive contract. But hey, you've won a Super Bowl. Mahomes gets one over on us. He wins the actual MVP of the league, steals it from Justin Fields. But hey, I'd rather have a Super Bowl than a MVP any day of the week. So we get a championship, and I'm kind of interested to go another season, to go a 5th year and see if we go back to back. Go to 3 straight Super Bowls and go back to back, because this team is very good. I'll take a look at the contracts. If the contracts are a little out of control, maybe we don't go back, go back to back. But let's see. We got accept the option on Bryce. We got to pay Tremaine Edmonds a good amount of money. Tyreek Stevenson got to pay. Gervin Dexter, Aaron Donald for 1 less ride. It's not as crazy as I would have expected it to be. Not as crazy as last year by any means. But do we want to go another season? I don't know. I feel like I don't want to ruin the reputation of this video, because we went to back-to-back championships. We've got a great team. Justin Fields is a stud. I've drafted some amazing players, including this man right here, Franklin Camp, even though he is from Meat Chicken. 94 speed, 95 excel. He's such a stud. Such a good player. I kind of don't want to ruin the kind of veil that we've covered this team in. And this dude right here, what a steal he was. And it looks like Khalil Mack did retire, so I was right about that. I was right about him retiring. But I mean, Bryce Giles ends up, he was like, what, a 2nd-round pick or something? And now he's the 3rd-ranked left end in the entire NFL. What a stud he was. What a pickup. But I mean, these guys are good, and I don't think I want to leave them with a bad taste in their mouth if we end up losing in the Super Bowl or losing before the Super Bowl. So I think we're going to end the video here. We're going to go 4 seasons. We've won a championship. We were in one the year previous. I think that's how we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it on a high note. We've won a championship with the no trading method. That's going to do it for the video, though. If you have any suggestions, like I mentioned earlier, with the no free agent signings, no drafting, like all those kind of different restrictions you might want to see in possible future rebuilds, let me know down below in the comments. And we got a championship. I'm 3 out of 4. I failed on the Denver Bronco one, but I succeeded with the Bears, I succeeded with the Panthers, and I succeeded with the Giants. I am 3 out of 4 on rebuilds right now. I'm on a little bit of a hot streak, 3 in a row. Let's see if we can make it 4 in a row in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.